All right. All right, Madam Clerk, ordinances under final reading, item A.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 21, Article 6, Office of the Administrative Hearing Officer, Section 21-239, review of citation, levy of civil penalties authorized by law.
Right. Okay, I have a motion and proper second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, council, as mentioned earlier, we'll take items B through G as a group. I'm sorry, Councilman Hester.
I want to, item B, I want to push back for a week.
Okay, hold on for just a second. All right, so we want to take that out.
Right.
That's issue one, yeah.
It's C.
C, item C?
It's your item B under.
Yeah, item,
This is second reading, this is final.
final read.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right, we good, Councilman?
Jump the gun.
That's one you want to confirm.
H.
It's actually,
Because you're on the first,
it's under
yes.
8B.
So you're looking for first read?
Yeah,
AB.
8B.
Item B under first reading.
Okay,
Discussed in,
earlier.
3:30.
Okay.
8B.
So item B under first read is the one you want to pull out? Okay. And then, Councilwoman Knoll,
Yes.
under final read, you had item D. Did you want to defer? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Item B
All right.
that I want to defer.
All right.
Thank you, Madam
So,
Chair.
thank you. Councilman Hester, you have any other questions at this moment?
Since it's final reading.
Not for the final reading.
All right, okay. All right, Madam Clerk, if you can read items B, C, E, F, and G as a group, if there's no objection from council. All right, Madam Clerk.
Item B, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 5910 Highway 153 and an unaddressed property in the 2600 block of Wilder Road from R1 residential zone and R4 special zone to C2 convenience commercial zone, subject to certain conditions. Item C, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 4228, 4230 Benton Drive and 4057 South Access Road from R2 Residential Zone and C2 Convenience Commercial Zone to M3 Warehouse and Wholesale Zone. Item E, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 1600 East 23rd Street from C2 Convenience Commercial Zone and M3 Warehouse and Wholesale Zone to UGC Urban General Commercial Zone, subject to certain conditions. Item F, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 1413 East 17th Street from R2 Residential Zone to RTZ Residential Townhouse. There are lot line zones subject to certain conditions. Item G, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone 2603 Accord Street from R1 Residential Zone to RTZ Residential Townhouse. There are lot line zones subject to certain conditions.
All right, council, you've heard the reading. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, item D.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 2722 and 2724 Cannon Avenue from R1 Residential Zone to R3 Residential Zone, subject to certain conditions.
All right, Councilwoman Knoll.
My D, okay, sorry, Madam Chair. So I would like to move to defer to February the 20th.
Okay. All right, have a motion to defer to February 20th with a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, Madam Clerk, item H.
An ordinance closing and abandoning an unopened street located in the 2700 block of Chickamauga Avenue and an unopened 2800 block of Pennsylvania Avenue to recombine areas with properties located at 2801 and 2805 New Jersey Avenue as detailed on the attached maps.
Right, council, you've heard the reading.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, ordinances under first reading, parks and outdoor. Item A, Madam Clerk, if you can read the alternate version.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 26, Section 26, 23, 26, 24, 26, 25, 26, 26, 26, 27, 26, 28, 26, 29, 26, 30, 26, 31, 26, 32, 26, 33, 26, 34, 26, 58, and 26, 91, establishing fees for events, rentals, and usage of Chattanooga parks, community centers, and recreational facilities.
Move to approve.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, Madam Clerk, item B.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 5116, 5120, and 5134, Highway 58, and 5 unaddressed properties, and the 5100 block of Highway 58 from C5 Neighborhood Commercial Zone to C2 Convenience Commercial Zone with conditions.
All right, is the applicant present? Okay, is there any opposition present? Okay, Councilman Hester.
Now, Madam Chair, I want to move defer this for 7 days, please.
All right, defer until January 30th. Thank you. It's been motioned and properly second to defer to January 30th. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Madam Clerk, item C.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 2804, 2806, and 2810 South Hickory Street and 1700 East 28th Street from R1 Residential Zone to O1 Office Zone, subject to certain conditions.
Okay, is there applicant present? Is there opposition present? All right, Madam Vice Chair.
Madam Chair, this is in your district, and in the earlier portion of our public meeting, you said that you were happy to move to approve, and so on your behalf, I move to approve.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, item D.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance, so as to rezone properties located at 608, 614, and 4 unaddressed properties, and the 600 block of Central Avenue from R3 Residential Zone to UGC Urban General Commercial Zone, subject to certain conditions.
All right, is there an applicant present? Is there any opposition present? All right, this is in District 8.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit confused.
All right, go ahead and hit your light, please.
What did I defer to the 20th a minute ago?
That was on final reading, Cannon Avenue.
Okay, so that is not the one. I'm sorry, so what do I need to do? Move to reconsider that one on Cannon?
All right, so at this moment for this one,
At this moment for this one, I want to move to defer until February the 20th.
okay. Second. All right, it's been motioned and properly second to defer item D until February the 20th. Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor? Okay, all opposed? Motion carries. And you would like a motion to reconsider item D, 2023-0185, is that correct?
Yes, that, you said that was on Cannon, that's why I was a little confused. Yes, so yeah, rescind that one.
Okay, is that in the form of a motion?
That is in the form of a motion, Madam Chair.
I
Okay,
second the motion to reconsider.
all right. It's been motioned and properly second to reconsider.
And I move to approve.
All right. Okay, it's been moved to approved. Get it on the floor.
Second.
We got your second, all right. All right, any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Yes,
Is that it?
that's on the final reading at this point in time.
Yes,
All right, and she's moved to approve it.
yes.
All right. All right, everybody good? We good, Phil?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Okay, resolutions under economic development. All right, council, we discussed this earlier. If anything needs to come out, please let me know. But otherwise, we will take items A through D as a group. All right, Madam Clerk.
Item A, a resolution authorizing the mayor and his designee to enter into a license agreement with the state of Tennessee and substantially the form attached for a 10-year renewable term for $0 per year to use and maintain the area underneath the Oljati Bridge for bus and handicap parking that shall be at no cost to the public. Item B, a resolution authorizing mayor and his designee to enter into a lease agreement with the Hamilton County, Tennessee Board of Education in substantially the form attached for the use of a portion of tax parcel number 168IC032 for the operation of the Cedar Hill Head Start Early Head Start Program at 4701 Divine Avenue for an initial term of 1 year commencing on January 1, 2024, and ending December 31, 2024, for the annual rent of $1 with the option to renew for 3 additional terms of 1 year each. Item C, a resolution authorizing the mayor and his designee to enter into a lease agreement with the Hamilton County, Tennessee Board of Education in substantially the form attached for the use of tax parcel numbers 136LM002, 136LM005, and 136LM006 for the operation of the Avondale Head Start Early Head Start Program at 2302 Accord Street for an additional term of 1 year commencing on January 1, 2024, ending December 31, 2024, for the annual rent of $1 with the option to renew for 3 additional terms of 1 year each. Item D, a resolution authorizing the mayor and his designee to enter into a lease agreement with the Hamilton County, Tennessee Board of Education in substantially the form attached for the use of a portion of tax parcel number 066MD014 for the operation of the Daisy Head Start Program at 9517 West Ridge Trail Road in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee for an initial term of 1 year commencing on January 1, 2024 and ending on December 31, 2024 for the annual rent of $1 with an option to renew for 3 additional terms of 1 year each.
Okay, council, you've heard the reading.
Move to approve.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item E, Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the Family Justice Center approval to apply for and, if awarded, accept a 2024 OVW Justice for Family Solicitation Grant for a period of 36 months for funding to support the Family Justice Center in Hamilton County Courts to allow for expansion of services to additional municipalities and develop a strong coordinated court advocacy collaborative for an amount not to exceed $600,000.
All right, Councilwoman Byrd.
Move approval.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, item F.
A resolution authorizing and directing the clerk of the council to advertise for public hearing on February 20, 2024, the de-annexation of 4615, 4703, and 4713 Mountain Creek Road, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37415, adjacent to the current city limits, requested by applicant James A. Faulkner within the city of Chattanooga and Hamilton County, Tennessee, as referenced on the attached maps, more fully described as tax parcels 098, 063.01, 098, 064, and 098, 066, and referenced in the legal description attached as Exhibit A to this resolution.
For police and fire, talks about it on page.
All right.
Move to approve.
Okay, there's no second? Nope. All right, it's been a motion and proper second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No. All right, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Henderson? No. Councilman Smith? No. Councilman Ledford? No. Councilman Hester?
No.
Councilwoman Byrd?
No.
Councilwoman Knoll?
No.
Councilwoman Coonrod? Vice Chair Hill?
Yes.
Chair Dotley?
No. All right,
7, no.
okay, motion fails. All right, Madam Clerk, items G through N as a group, and council will do that if there's no objections. All right, Madam Clerk.
Could you repeat the letters again? Can you repeat that again?
I'm so sorry, on the mayor's office, items G through N as a group.
All right. Item G, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Paula Wilkes to the Library Board of Directors for a term beginning on January 24, 2024, and ending on January 23, 2027. Item H, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Sharon Law to the Library Board of Directors for a term beginning on January 24, 2024, and ending on January 23, 2027. Item I, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Burton Whitaker to the Library Board of Directors for a term beginning on January 24, 2024, and ending on January 23, 2027. Item J, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's reappointment of Paul McGinnis to the Board of Plumbing Examiners for a term beginning on September 29, 2023, and ending on September 28, 2025. Item K, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's reappointment of Susan Daly to the Board of Plumbing Examiners for a term beginning on September 29, 2023, and ending on September 28, 2025. Item L, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's reappointment of Doug Daly to the Board of Plumbing Examiners for a term beginning on September 29, 2023, and ending on September 28, 2025. Item M, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's reappointment of Mark Stoltman to the Board of Plumbing Examiners for a term beginning on September 29, 2023, and ending on September 28, 2025. Item N, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's reappointment of Thomas Snow to the Metropolitan Airport Authority for a term beginning on August 30, 2023, and ending on August 29, 2026.
All right, council, you've heard the reading. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any board appointments here? I see Ms. Paula. If you are, if you could just stand, and we just want to say thank you so much for your service. Yeah, you. All right, Parks and Outdoor, item O. Madam Clerk?
A resolution authorizing the city of Chattanooga to accept a donation of a floating dock from Chattanooga Tourism Company to be used for several Redline events such as Ironman and Head of the Hooch, valued at $132,156.08.
Move to approve.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right. All right, if there's no objection from council, we will take items P through U as a group. If it's anything that you need to pull out, please hit your lights. All right, Madam Clerk, items P through U.
Item P, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to apply for and if awarded, accept a 5-star and urban waters restoration grant for watershed restoration, litter invasive species removal, educational programming, and community partnerships in the Mountain Creek watershed in the amount of $60,000 and authorizing matching funds in the amount of $60,000 for a total project cost of $120,000. Item Q, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to execute a federal U.S. Communities contract number 4400008468 via Safeware to assist local communities in procurement of public safety and emergency preparedness equipment and related services for automated high water road closure systems at Lower Mill Road, Airport Road, and additional flashes at Davidson Road, plus antenna and software upgrades in the amount of $313,030. $313,030.96, plus a contingency in the amount of $30 for a total amount of $343,030.96. Item R, resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew the professional services on-call blanket contract for design and plan production services, contract number S20004100 for year 4 of 5 to the 11 consulting firms listed per the qualifications package for the total amount of $1,500,000, $1,050,000, I'm sorry. Item 1, number 1 is W.K. Dixon, 2 Volkert, 3 Bars Design Solutions, 4 S&M&E, 5 RK&K, 6 Geosyntex, 7 CTI, 8 Core Engineering, 9 Labella, 10 Brown and Caulfield, and 11 Arcadis. Item S, A resolution authorizing the 2023 annual inflation adjustment of the financial assurance of the City of Chattanooga landfills permit numbers SML 33000035 phases 1 and 2 at Summit landfills required by the regulations of Division of Solid Waste Management to maintain the assurance of $1,424,995.67. Item T, a resolution authorizing the 2023 annual inflation adjustment of the financial assurance for the City of Chattanooga landfills, permit numbers SNL 3300000273 lateral expansion area 3 at Birchwood landfills required by the regulations of the Division of Solid Waste Management to increase the assurance from $8,028,128.88 to $9,079,516.88. Item U, a resolution authorizing the 2023 annual inflation adjustment of the financial assurance of the City of Chattanooga landfills permits numbers SNL 33000273 or original at Birchwood landfill and Summit landfills required by the regulations of the Division of Solid Waste Management to decrease the assurance from $1,546,300.95 to $1,510,325.06.
All right, council, you've heard the readings.
Move to approve.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, made it to the end. Item Z.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the wastewater department to renew blanket contract number W200100201 paving and concrete repair or replacement year 4 or 4 years with TNT Concrete LLC of Calhoun, Tennessee for an annual amount not to exceed $1.5 million.
Move to approve.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Now we have come to purchases. Hi, Julia.
Good evening, council. We have a long list of 10 purchases recommended for approval this evening. The first is from the Street Maintenance Division of Public Works. This is a 2-year contract renewal with Detail Experts for the washing of heavy-duty trucks. The supplier has submitted a 3% price increase to align with the current market conditions and to maintain employees. The annual cost estimate will remain at $80,000. The second is from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works. This is a new blanket agreement for the purchase of Elgin Street Sweeper and Vector Sewer Cleaner OEM parts and service for the use by the Fleet Management Division. This will be a 4-year agreement not to exceed $170,000. The award will go to Sansum Equipment Company, Inc. as a sole source purchase. Sansum Equipment Company is the sole distributor for OEM parts and service for Eastern Tennessee. The third is also from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works. This is a request for an increase of $65,000 with Truck and Trailer USA due to upfitting of new CFD brush trucks for a new estimated amount of $190,000 to cover current and future expenditures through May of 2024. Next is from the Facilities Division of Public Works. This is a 1-year extension with Detail Experts for supplemental custodial services to allow time for specification development for bidding. The annual cost estimate is $275,000. The fifth is from the Wastewater Department. This is a new blanket contract for the supplemental supply and delivery of liquid oxygen. This will be a 4-year agreement not to exceed $400,000 per year. The award will go to Next Air LLC as the best bid for the City of Chattanooga. The low bidder did not accept the city's terms and conditions. The sixth is from the HR Department, Division Risk Management. This is a request for an increase of the annual spend limit with Arthur Gallagher Risk Management from $1 million to $1,373,242 to cover insurance costs. This annual increase is due to updated city property values, an increase of 43%, and additional auto coverage for city vehicles traveling outside the state. The seventh is from the Department of Technology Services. This is a request for a 2-year agreement with Convergent Technologies using the Omnia Partners contract number R220702 to supply camera hardware, software, licensing, maintenance, and support for all citywide devices with an annual cost estimate of $2 million. Next, 3 purchases are from the Department of Technology Services. The 8th is a request for a 4-year agreement with Carasoft using the Omnia Partners contract number 23-6692-01 for technology product solutions and related services with an annual cost not to exceed $3 million. The ninth is a request for an increase of the annual spend limit with Temple Incorp. for $250,000 to $1 million annually. The annual increase is to cover the replacement and upgrade of aging traffic signals around the city. The 10th and final purchase is a request from Department of Technology Services for an increase of the annual spend limit with SHI from $550,000 to $1.5 million for the purchase of hardware, software, licensing, maintenance, and support. This purchasing agreement uses Omnia Partners Cooperative Source Agreement. This increase is due to the low spend limit initially requested. SHI provides better pricing, lower service charges, and excellent support and a more efficient process than other large cooperatives.
All right, council, you've heard the reading? Okay, have a motion and a proper second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
We do have one sole source purchase to report from the Department of Technology Services. The sole source purchase of $48,500 with AST Corporation is a purchase to standardize and simplify the existing complex requisition workflow to prevent redundant approvals and reduce cycle time.
All right, thank you so much, Julia. All right, we come to committee reports. Councilman Henderson. All right, Councilman Smith.
No report, Madam Chair.
Okay, Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to remind everybody, we do have a work session where we will go over our new proposed zoning codes, and that will start at 1 o'clock in our conference room on Tuesday the 30th, and we will have lunch beforehand.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Ledford. Councilman Hester.
We didn't meet today. However, I want to re-examine Code 16. Chairman Dolly and Committee Chair Ken Smith, Code 16, for the minimum age for those who can apply for the fire and police academy. Whenever we can put it in strategic planning.
All right, okay, all right. Thank you so much, Councilman Hester. Councilwoman Coonrod. All right, Councilwoman Knoll.
No report, Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Burrs.
No report, Madam.
All right, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had an Affordable Housing Committee meeting today where we heard presentations on 2 proposed pilots the administration is bringing for our consideration.
All right, thank you so much. All right, now comes time for persons who wish to address the council. If you would like to address the council, please line up behind that podium as our city attorney reads the rules.
Sure, Madam Chair. At the end of each council business meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public who wish to address the council. Here's your rules. Each speaker wishing to address the council can only be recognized at the microphone up front for that purpose. Can't have more than 3 minutes to speak, and you can address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority and not upon matters that are not under their authority or regulated by other governmental bodies or agencies. You cannot engage in any vulgar or obscene language nor use the floor to personally denigrate or personally attack others, and should address the council as a whole and not make comments directed towards individual council members. And lastly, do not engage in any disorderly conduct or disrupting a public meeting, which is prohibited by Tennessee law, and someone commits that offense if the person substantially obstructs or interferes with the meeting by physical action or verbal utterance with the intent to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting or gathering. Having stated those rules, go right ahead, sir, and give your name, please.
All right, good evening. My name is Josh Branham. I'm Governmental Affairs Director for Greater Chattanooga Realtors, and I've had the pleasure of meeting a number of you already. My former counterpart, Christy, stepped away from our association, so I'm the new Christy. As I've told a few of you, I have not as good hair as she did, but you'll be seeing me every week. Councilwoman Coonrod was kind enough to take a report to hand to each of you. It is the 2023 Annual Housing Report, which includes the City of Chattanooga in there as well. Our goal as Greater Chattanooga Realtors, we represent all 2,700 realtors in the Greater Chattanooga area. Obviously, the City of Chattanooga falls in there as well. My goal is to provide you all housing information. That annual report obviously covers the year of 2023, but each month I'll be providing you monthly up-to-date information, and I can provide that as necessary And thank you all for what you do, and look forward to speaking more in depth with you all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
John, Highland Park. Good to see that everyone is here and thawed out after a bitterly cold week that most of us Tennesseans are not used to. But it was in the middle of that cold snap that a journalist reached out to me and said, "Did you know Market Street Bridge is closed, and do you know why? I think a pedestrian may have been hit." I sent a message out to a local group chat for people who are concerned about these matters, and no one seemed to know what was going on until a few hours later, someone from our group said, "It was me. I was hit. I'm in the hospital. My family's coming from out of state to check on me." They had stitches, torn muscle. They were getting an MRI and a head scan, and so far it looks like the damage might be minimal. But I want to break down what happened that night, because that smaller story enhances the greater story of what's going on in our city right now. You see, he decided to head home from downtown to the North Shore, and though it was inconvenient and uphill, he knew that the Walnut Street Bridge was the safest and best option. Except the snow and ice hadn't been adequately cleared from a trip he took earlier, and he knew that he'd be both a danger to himself and to others if he took that route, so he decided on the Market Street Bridge. And even though it's in bad taste, he was going to ride his bike on the sidewalk, except for the same problem with snow and ice existed there as well. And so he chose to ride a Chattanooga city bike, specifically an electric one, so that he could maintain an appropriate speed so that he wouldn't be surprised or wouldn't surprise any cars, and it would increase visibility. The Market Street Bridge has far too narrow lanes and no leeway for cyclists, paint, let alone infrastructure. It's also worth noting that these electric bikes have proper lighting. All of those decisions, and he still ended up with his head cracking a car's windshield. Now, the car was charged with a minor offense of following too closely, hoping that maybe those charges might be upped once more the details come out. But that enforcement won't get him his health back. Just like future enforcement isn't going to get the lives back of the people who lose it. When we make the safe option inconvenient, we incentivize dangerous behavior, and we're doing that all throughout our city. You're soon going to see visuals with heat maps of each of your districts, and the red zones are the zones that we should look at and say, if there is a dangerous pattern, we need a thorough process. What is our plan and what is our process for these red areas? We need less people walking around with a limp. We need less people attending funerals for people who should still be with us today. And in each and every one of your districts, there is a red zone that needs your attention. I look forward to the future plans that are coming out in order to make our red zones safer and more walkable for the betterment of Chattanooga's economy, for our people, and for the safety of our children. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, City Council. My name is Memo Sanchez. I'm a resident of District 2, and as my day job, I analyze data to inform public health action. And I'm here to share a few insights that I've learned through digging through our own city's traffic data, incident data, and comparing it to national data. I've also put together some maps and graphs in case they're useful as we work together to make Chattanooga roads safer for motorists and pedestrians. In these maps, I've highlighted what are called hotspots, or areas of high activity for car accidents, and I produced individual maps for your respective districts. I did make one mistake on the names represented by districts 8 and 9, and it was fixed. Thank you. But here's an abbreviated list of 4 lessons regarding what I learned as I dug through this issue. Lesson number 1, what we're seeing in our city is part of a larger trend nationally towards increases in traffic fatalities, including both drivers and pedestrians. Based on national data, pedestrian deaths have nearly doubled since 2010. And in 2022, we saw the highest number of pedestrian deaths in our country reported in over 40 years. And as it turns out, Tennessee is among the top 5 or 10 states in which pedestrian deaths are getting worse. Lesson number 2, unfortunately, based on our own city data, I think we can reasonably expect to see sustained increases in Chattanoogans that are hurt or killed by cars, including pedestrians. As an epidemiologist who specializes in disease outbreaks and epidemics, this is the very definition of an epidemic, a rise in morbidity and mortality above an expected baseline. While I'm hopeful that we don't see a number like 17 pedestrians dying this year, In addition to the ongoing discussions about improvements such as Fraser Avenue, I think it would be wise that we start thinking about what other contingency plans we should have in place in case this problem persists or if it worsens. Lesson number 3, the causes of this increase are multifactorial, and I think some of you are probably quite familiar with them because they're pretty obvious to the naked eye. But some of these that have been cited, at least from what I've seen, include distracted driving, vehicle design such as larger SUVs and trucks, poor pedestrian infrastructure, impaired driving such as the opioid epidemic, or also alcohol use, and also emotional driving. We've all seen the polarization within our city and within our country, and that certainly contributes. And I'll finish with lesson number 4, and that brings me to these maps. There are clear areas within our city that car accidents are concentrated, and this is not a coincidence. If you look at car accident data from our city, it's clear that there are roads, areas, and corridors with increased risk of car accidents, and by extension, pedestrian death. I'm reassured by the ongoing discussions and really appreciate Councilwoman Jenny Hill's proposals about multimodal transportation earlier today. Please let me know and let others know how we can continue supporting your work to improve pedestrian safety and also motorist safety within our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold for just a second. Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks for these. I'd like them digitally if I could. Y'all might notice I'm always on a tablet. I gotta say, Council, I feel sort of fortunate as I look at my heat map. I know exactly the 2 areas where we have issues. And I'm pretty darn lucky that I don't have very many. But there are definitely a lot of districts that have a whole heck of a lot of bright red and yellow that I'm certain is important to you. As John shared the story of the cyclist that was hit, 2 things came to mind. Number 1, I'm an e-bike owner, and when I went to training with Outdoor Chattanooga, one of the things that I was taught was take the lane. I have gone across Market Street Bridge myself, and I took the lane because that was my right as a cyclist, and that was the safest way for me to cross that bridge. And that it was a completely legal option. So I see no fault of that cyclist to have chosen to take the lane. The other thing that occurs to me is that in our work session today, as we talked about the possibility of making rollerblading and skateboarding legal in our city, so decriminalizing those 2 forms of transportation, big part of our conversation was, what's the liability if we allow this? And it occurs to me that as Chattanooga lives in the reality of a national trend where we have more aggressive drivers with larger vehicles that are able, accidentally or otherwise, to run down something smaller than themselves, we may need to take a step back and consider what liability do we have if we do not protect our pedestrians and our multimodal users. Because that sounds like an unusual circumstance of ice on our pedestrian thoroughfares, and yet there was no protected option. And that weighs heavy on me. Just wanted to add that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Thank you.
Hi, it's Haley Dunning. I'm from District 2 and I work downtown. And I also work in public health, but I'm glad Nemo was able to get here in time because I was not going to be able to explain all of that as well as he did. But just from your packets that were passed around with the high concentration car accidents, heat maps, and all of that data, it does tie into the national epidemic, as Nemo kind of touched on. And I do think Chattanooga has a really good opportunity to kind of be a leading factor in even throughout the nation on showing these changes, because we are an outdoorsy city and we have kind of that title. So if we use this as a good opportunity to like really implement some like true problem solving, patiently, I think that it could be a really cool opportunity here down the road. And then also, I am a little worried from the news recently about the North Shore Collective stating that they were kind of against the road narrowing, which was a bit of a bummer to hear, but I do want to emphasize that they are not representative of the whole community in that area. I don't want the voices of a few loud ones to kind of overshadow what the community really truly needs. And as we've shown, there's data, there's voices and concerns of all sorts of residents, people from out of town even who want to visit, and so I just want to just emphasize that and make sure that you're not letting any of those voices kind of shadow over what is right in this situation. And I'm also would like to make sure that we're maintaining this movement. I'm really glad of what you said, Councilmember Hill, and looking forward to what's coming down the road, these changes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Haley. All right, council, not seeing anyone else wishing to address the council. What's your pleasure? All right, meeting adjourned.